The world is composed of many different unique things. Each different thing has a special task that makes the world go around correctly. If one of them were to disappear, it would mean a great effect to how the system works. And ever since technology was discovered, it has always provided us with disadvantages and advantages. Its soul has always been about making our life easier and the things that a normal human person cannot do. With the help of technology, we have come a long way in life and have discovered many things. Things like walking the moon, exploring space, and exploring the sea, which has been explored for around 5% only. Uh, just imagine all the possibilities that we can do just with the help of technology. And now, if we take it a step further, hence nanotechnology, we will be able to make even more out of it. Firstly, what is nanotechnology? It is science, engineering, and technology that is conducted at a nanoscale, which is about 1 to 100 nanometers. It is such a unique and special kind of technology. Nano meaning small, and combined with technology, and it could mean that technology would be able to fit in your palm. Technology would become more convenient with this, but as of today, nanotechnology is currently being used to make surfaces self-cleaning and stay clean for a long time. They can also be found in clothing, skincare products, and many other products today. In this long term, many products can be made out of nanotechnology, and these are nanobots, that which can enter your bloodstream and guard you from infections. Nanomedicine, which can promise in curing cancer and also repair your cells and attacking viruses. Nanotechnology will surely be a thing of the future, as currently we rely a lot on our modern day technology. And with it, we are able to do lots of things easily. But as nanotechnology emerges and rises from the beginning, many things will change. Therefore, once the nanotechnology develops, as it becomes stable, we will be able to do what we couldn't do before. And that is what humans cannot do right as of now. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am here today to speak to you about the street children in our community here in Barangay Nangka, Consolacion, Cebu. I would like to help these kids have food to eat for as much and as long as I can. I would like to help these kids have proper nutrition and they would have good health to survive in these streets because feeding them is the only way I could help these kids. First of all, I would like to have a project wherein I could fund for these kids as much any amount of donations you ladies and gentlemen would like to give would go straight to these children. All the funds being collected from you, ladies and gentlemen, would be used to buy food and would be cooked by me. All the food and all the packaging would be prepared by me, and through this little way, I could help these kids by giving them the right nutrition because the food I would give them would be nutritional for them, and it would surely fill their stomachs up. Second, all the all the money would be used, and nothing will go in my pocket because it is a it is a donation used for these children, and I wouldn't want to use the money for personal uses, because why would I? And third of all, this project would really help these children, because as we all know, these children would go 7 days a week without eating, or maybe a couple of days in a week without eating. And by giving them food, it would really make them happy, and it would really fill up their stomachs. Thank you, everyone.
Sex education, according to Planned Parenthood, is the high quality teaching and learning about a broad variety of topics related to sex and sexuality, exploring values and beliefs about those topics. The reason I am speaking here in front of you all today is because I will teach you about the importance of teaching sexual education to the students of Sacred Heart School at Ateneo de Cebu, specifically the senior high students. From human development, which includes puberty, sexual orientation, and the like, to obviously sexual intercourse, coitus, and everything. Sex ed will cover these topics properly and make us aware of the effects. At the ripe age of adolescence, it is very crucial for us to learn all about sex ed. Sex education is something that everyone is aware of, and although the school has already had a few programs regarding sex ed, these programs only graze the surface of the topic. Teenagers at senior high school should know all about sex ed, the effects pertaining to engaging in sex, from beneficial to detrimental, to both their mental and physical well-being, and everything in between. It takes more than just a simple program held at least once a year for us to be aware of the subject's entirety. We need sex education as it engages us to learn more about the health and the effects of us as we go through life. Obviously, including sex, as it is a part of our growth, and we need sex ed as the topic engages with the health of the students. As sexual intercourse can impact an individual not only through the possibility of contracting an STD, a sexual transmitted disease, but on an individual's mental health. As we all know, rape cases are prevalent in our country, and sex ed can help us learn about what to do and what not to do as we go on through life. Having sex ed properly implemented in the school curriculum can help focus on the welfare of the students and prevent unfortunate mistakes that may possibly happen if we didn't learn properly about sex ed. Furthermore, according to the National Demographic and Health Survey in 2017, around 9% of women ages 15 to 19 have already started having children in the Philippines only. This is why sex ed remains a crucial component to the academic curriculum of our school. I personally advance the concept of properly implementing the course of sex ed in our school curriculum in order to allow people, most especially teenagers, to be aware of the effects pertaining to sex, to learn more about the very broad topic of sex ed, and to aid in the proper decision-making process when the situation presents itself to us. The programs that the school has held have not only been they only focus on certain topics, and we only have them once a year, and we can't learn sex ed properly because of these prejudiced topics. Like when they talk about feminism and stuff, they only seem to be one-sided. So that is why I believe that sex ed should be properly implemented in the school, so that we will properly learn about the effects and all properly, and we can be aware of the importance of sex ed in our country. Thank you.
Did you know that the government agency that has the highest national budget here in the Philippines is the Department of Education? It was July of 2017 that President Rodrigo Duterte wants to prioritize and focus our national budget on education and infrastructure. Therefore, having a budget of 3.67 trillion pesos according to CNN Philippines. However, there are so many instances that we encounter unbefitting towards education. This can be seen in both rural and urban areas in the Philippines. Why is it that we still experience this kind of system even if most of our national budget is allotted on education? My advocacy as an Ateneo Harter is primarily to give proper education, especially to the financially incapable, for education is a right. In other words, the right to education is a fundamental human right. Every individual, regardless of whatever he or she may be, is entitled to a free elementary education. Unfortunately, proper education is only attainable at private schools in which a lot of Filipinos cannot acquire. Why is this? What about the public schools provided by the government? We cannot deny the fact that most of public school students end up working in minimum wages jobs. Unfortunately, this is not enough to improve the state of one family. There are so many ways that we, people who are privileged of having more capacity and opportunity, can do to create a significant change or impact to these people. As an institution, I believe, together with the help of the administrators, we can provide programs that could improve the educational system in public schools. Just like Xavier University Ateneo de Cagayan, their program, Tulong Dunong, is very similar to our program SLP, or Student Learning Program, wherein we visit public schools to let the students of our institution teach the ones in the public schools. However, I believe we shouldn't limit ourselves. I believe that we can still embody Magis in this through conducting seminars and workshops for not only the students but also the teachers. This is primarily to give a glimpse of the system, of how the system works in our school. This is to influence them with the different exposures of experience. With that said, we create a wider horizon of having a higher number of people who can be exemplars at many aspects because they will be knowledgeable enough to utilize and maximize their skills and potentials. Education is the greatest tool that anyone can possess. So, as an Ateneo Harter community, we can be instruments to bring exposures to these people who need it. In addition, I have always believed that education is the foundation for the better progress of our nation. Therefore, let us take our first step in making that one thing that will lead us to a brighter tomorrow, and that is education.
The invention and innovation of vaccines changed the course of human history. With its creation, millions upon millions of lives were saved from avoidable diseases and viruses such as smallpox and measles. They were basically extinct for a period of time, and the human race was revolutionized forever. But it is somehow incredibly dreadful to find out that immunization rates in the Philippines have gone down 60% compared to the past years, due to the dengue scare earlier this year. This has caused children to contract diseases thought to be eradicated from our country, such as measles and chickenpox. This is unacceptable, and I would like to propose that mandatory vaccination of children should be made a law by our government in order to curb and avoid the rise of diseases in our country. It is appalling to know that the parents themselves decide to go against the vaccination of their children. This was allegedly due to the dengue case in the Philippines, where 19 children who were given the vaccine lost their lives caused by complications of the dengue vaccine. It is understandable for parents to fear for their children's life, but it is not understandable to rob them of protection from potentially fatal diseases. I propose that our government should make a law that would make the refusal or neglect of a parent to vaccinate the children be punishable by law, and also that vaccines should be made affordable, if not free, free by the government in order to truly give everyone a chance of receiving protection that they deserve. Although many may argue that making vaccinations mandatory would have the right to choose taken from these people, I believe that it is necessary in order to avoid the risk of people and children from contracting diseases that could have been avoided with the help of vaccines. Making it mandatory would ensure that every child can have the chance to get vaccinations and could potentially save their lives. In addition to that, making it more affordable or free with the help of government subsidies could make vaccines and vaccinations universally available to everyone in the Philippines, poor or rich. These vaccines can finally reach out to everyone in our country without anyone having to suffer the debt and burden of not being able to afford it. These vaccinations are the first line of defenses for people against viruses and other diseases. Without it, it will leave us more vulnerable and to contract these fatal diseases since our bodies do not have the proper help and mechanisms to combat these threats. Without these lifesavers, diseases such as papillomavirus, hepatitis, whooping cough, chickenpox, and polio would run rampant all over the world. These diseases could spread undeniably, and without the help of vaccines, the human race might not stand a chance. These vaccines can save a child's life, but the decisions made by the parents can kill them. Make vaccinations and vaccines mandatory and free, and help protect the Filipino children from the harm that avoidable diseases can bring forth.